Good morning, everybody. Let's just get everybody tagged real quick. Hope everybody's having a good day so far. And hopefully you can hear me. We got the headphones in today. They are all charged up. I know they died on us yesterday. So let's just get everybody tagged and we'll get right after it. Looks like we have 2 people on the call already. We'll see here in a second who they are, but always appreciate those of you that can make the time to go live. All right, and we got a hashtag live from Jerry. Awesome, Jerry. Much appreciated. We got a hashtag live from Sue as well. That's good stuff. Hopefully that means you can hear me all right. Let me just make sure that we're alive. Perfect. Make sure I can see any new comments coming in, and it looks like we can. All right. So first thing, I did forget my tripod this morning, so hopefully you can see me all right. I don't know what the perspective is, but it looks like I'm pretty centered on the screen, so we're going to dive into it regardless. But today is a very special day. Today's day 21. There's a lot of research that shows that if we're working on building a habit, it usually takes about 21 days for that habit to solidify. So I'm a big believer that it takes 3 days to establish a habit, but it takes about 3 weeks for that habit to stick. Okay, and so very early on in this 30-day challenge, we talked about, look, the main goal here is that we want to show up every day and do 5 to 10 minutes of mobility because we know when we move better, we play better. And those of you that sign up for this group, and by the way, we hit 70 members in this group this morning. So thanks for all of you that have been sharing the group with your friends. That's huge. 70 people in it, and our first time doing this format of the challenge is huge. Definitely appreciate it. Couldn't do it without you all that are watching either live or on the replay. So this is big. It's turned into a habit. We're here every morning. We're going through the work, and that's exactly what we're about to do. So let's get after it. I'm going to close my eyes this morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just like that, easier than yesterday. Yesterday I almost stumbled and fell a couple of times, but that tells me I'm doing a little bit better. And that's what this is all about, is every day just incremental improvement. Fantastic. All right, into our shoulder circles, pushing down into those tight muscles throughout the neck and the shoulder area. Nice big circles, hand open, fingers spread, playing around with where we're pushing down and moving it around so that we can get that to break up and free up our shoulders, free up our neck. Super important, not just in life, but in golf and everything that we do. Oh, there's a super tight spot. So we're just going to give it just a quick extra second. There it goes, broke up. Perfect. All right, right arm across the chest. We're going to push it away from our body while pulling it in with the other arm. Nice and slow here. Working on maintaining my posture. Don't want to overextend my back. I don't want my body to change. I just want my arm to go up and down and to be able to open up the shoulder in particular. Switch sides. There's a good little click going through the shoulder. We're going up and back down. Good. If I can keep that hand open, fingers pulled back, really helps out. Great. Both arms out in front of us. Let's do our diver's press. We have both arms crossed, palms together, reaching, pressing the hands together, breathing. Slowly turning the backs of the hands together, palms of the hands, kind of just back and forth a couple of times, and then big sweep down and back. Switch the arms up. I like to do a little side bend here, maybe a little moving of the hands back and forth, but always reaching, always pressing, always breathing. And then just these micro movements along the way, depending on where I'm feeling most tight. Into our flip downs, chest stays tall, butt stays engaged. Pull the arms down, flip the hands in the bottom position. Feel a little stretch in the front of the chest. And from here, we push the hips back, get down to the toes. There we go. Each time, we inhale as we go down, and we exhale as we come up. Inhaling as we go down helps the stretch, helps you get a little bit farther, and gets those muscles to loosen up. Don't forget, squeeze your butt in the top positions, lean back a little bit. Good glute activation. Let's go into our side bend. Trying to keep the chest tall. I have a habit of letting it collapse down. Not the end of the world, but I do want to kind of keep this chest tall to get more of a stretch. Now, if I let it collapse, I can work a couple different areas when I stretch. There's no black and white, right or wrong, but I do today want to keep that chest tall. Good. Going to the other side. When I do that, I find I can't lean as far. And you might find the same. My chest is tall. This is as far as I can lean. If I let it collapse, I can get it much farther, but it's just a different stretch. Okay? Not that one is right or wrong, but today I really want to focus on this outside area, particularly on my left side here. That one gives me a little bit of trouble. So we just focus on it until it's no longer trouble. Side to side with our trunk twists, keeping our foot flat, turning into our leg. I'm feeling a good stretch on the outside of my hips, making sure there's no tension on my knees. Good. And from here, knees stay out. As we continue to trunk twist, we talked yesterday about how to turn this into an A-frame stretch if we need to really open ourselves up. But we're going to stick with our dynamic movement here today. Knees out feels really good on the hips. Last two, speaking of the hips, let's bring this knee up nice and close to our chest. Pull it in tight, push it away. Pull it in tight, push it away. Pull it in tight, push it away, and then send it behind you. Now we have a great platform, good stretch, front of the hip, lower back, twist, reach, breathe. Hold that position. Good, feeling a nice stretch in the front of that hip. Also feeling good relief in the lower part of my back on my right side since I'm stretching the right part of my hip. Left knee, up and close, push it away, up and close, push it away, up and close, push it away. Send it behind you. Split stance, heels off the ground, twist, feel that stretch. Feel a little bit in the lower back by tucking that tailbone, turning, reaching, breathing, holding. Beautiful. And then final one here, we're going into our side squat. Turning that foot side to side, pushing down. Got a question here. Is it normal to have one side more flexible than the other? 100%. Great question there. And if we think about it, most of us are one side dominant, right? Right hand dominant or left hand dominant, whatever the case might be. And typically with a dominant side, we tend to favor certain sides. One of the things that most of us don't even realize that we do is if we're just standing around, we'll just stand on one leg. We'll just find ourselves hanging out on our right side or just on our left side because it's easier because now we're hanging out almost, we'll call it bone on bone, joint on joint. We're using the end range of our joints to stabilize instead of using our muscles. And that's just us being lazy and neglectful. Our body as a human wants to be efficient. So anytime it can just hang out on a joint rather than having to actually stay active and use our muscles, it's going to do that. The other thing is, especially in golf, we find ourselves always swinging the same direction. Therefore, only half of our body's muscles are used, and we don't often practice symmetrically. Now, it's great to do that if you want to practice swinging your non-dominant way. There's actually a lot of research that shows that the faster you can swing on your non-dominant side, the more it's going to improve the performance of your dominant side. Okay, and that's something that we call deceleration training in the golf fitness world. The idea that the better your braking system is, the faster you can then drive the car. And so when we're talking about doing a non-dominant swing, that's really the brakes of your vehicle, okay? Is when we accelerate this way, that's our braking system for this way. So it is important to work on both sides and to stay as symmetrical as we can, especially in a rotary sport like golf. We could overdo it by overtraining in a non-symmetrical way, and our body is unbalanced. So I hope that answers that question. That is a good question. Let's just refresh the page real quick. Do we have any more questions coming in? Yeah, I got a couple hashtag lives. We got one question. I don't see any more coming in. So with that, we're going to end here for day 21 with the habit fully established. Now we're just going to reinforce it over our final 9 days as we finish up the month in this 30-day mobility challenge. Appreciate you all being here. As always, move better, play better.